Welcome to Mandulo's Sacred Conversations, where we get to talk about the things that we don't talk about, and we get to help each other recalibrate the nervous system and rewire the brain. We bridge spirituality with science, and we understand that they are the same thing from different, I wouldn't say sources, but I would rather say perspectives. So today we are going to look at a softer way. A lot of times when in the healing work we get the words, I want to let go of this and I want to let go of this and I want to let go of that. And sometimes the reason why it can be challenging to let go of things is because you have worked hard and you have dedicated your life to this thing, creating a shell and a sense of safety for yourself. So to let go of that is both emotionally and mentally exhausting, because then you think, if this was the version of what I have created, safety in my mind, now I have to start again. How does that look like? That's the dance and that's the inner war that happens, because now this part of you has served you for so long. It has brought so many amazing experiences and people into your life. And now there's a possibility that, oh, these people are no longer serving me in my journey moving forward. So then usually what I do is I would offer a softer landing. For me, the word release, it feels softer. Okay. And I'll share why now, because I want to just go back to letting go and how it informs itself in the body. You will have a lot of busyness in the mind, tightness or pain in the back, holding of breath, deep irritation and or easily irritated. You'll experience an inability to be with yourself. You're always going to feel like you have to be doing something, you have to be busy versus being still. You will experience stiffness in the body. You will experience tightness, and you can also experience heat, because that's a form of the body naturally saying that it's time to release. You are holding on, and there is a mental and emotional struggle that is physically informing itself in different parts of your body. Okay. When you think of releasing, I'd like to share a story that came up about releasing. And when you release, there's almost an initiation that takes place. And I use the analogy of the period. When a woman starts menstruating, now it's different for everyone. And then there is the general rule of this is what works generally across the board. And then it's going to be very specific according to your family's history, according to your sporting activity, according to your lifestyle, your diet, according to any dis-ease that you have. It's going to be very personal for you, even though there is like a general. When you are releasing, and it's this story of this girl becoming a woman, like entering into that womanhood by starting to bleed. You don't force it to happen. It's going to happen when it needs to happen. And whether you like it or not, it will happen. And of course, we always get the differences where some people don't. But I'm talking for the general, right? I'm just using story to just help you understand a certain sense of initiation and not trying to get into the politics of like who does it, who doesn't, you know. So you looking at this little girl who was carefree of not needing to worry about tampons and can she go into the swimming pool and can she still hang around? Is she going to be like safe? How is she going to feel? Because now her moods are going to change. The way in which she operates is going to change. Her sense of safety and her needs are going to change. And they are going to change very similarly to the way in which the moon cycles. So I would highly suggest that if you are a woman, you have a womb, that you cycle sync. And even if you don't, even men can cycle sync because you're cycling with the moon. Understanding your emotions are tapped in there, that your emotions, you know, they shift according to how your body is moving in season within yourself. So when you're releasing, you are in a form of initiation, and there is so much unknown of what comes with menstruation, right? I'm not sure what analogy to use from the male perspective, but I just want you to get an understanding of just an initiation that takes place. And it's going to take place because it's part of the natural cycle of your life. And so no matter what age you are at, there's initiation that happens in the need for you to let go, allow for the softening of releasing yourself, because now if you menstruate, you can't not have protection in some way or form, right? Now, if you have access, of course, to those things that can assist you, then it's going to be part of your lifestyle, that when you do menstruate and you happen to be doing sports, you're going to feel differently. You can still participate, but you're going to feel differently. And how you menstruate when you first get your cycle versus when you're in your 30s is different, and then it goes beyond, right? So there's an initiation taking place within you of allowing yourself to tap into the unknown of, yes, from what I've known and what has kept me safe, there is something else for my own self-discovery and my growth that is needed now. And the boldness to step forward in that, to go, this young version of me has served me so much and has kept me safe. But now I'm being initiated into something else where I don't know how this thing that is happening to me and is going to happen to me, how it's going to inform itself in my life. And then that's what story you get to tell, if that makes sense. So it's like, how did you overcome that which you needed to release? How did you overcome your challenges emotionally and mentally, spiritually, physically? It all obviously happens holistically with change at the end of the day, with recreating a new paradigm around safety. So sometimes what can happen is, if you grew up where parents didn't know what safety was, they would recognize it as chaos. So your nervous system, anxiety, the highest stress, that's anxiety, it will inform itself in the body. As I said, the tightness, the stiffness, your inability to be with yourself, wanting to escape, wanting to run, heat, just wanting to run out of this experience because it's so emotionally or physically uncomfortable to sit in the discomfort and in the busyness of the mind, tightness in the back, holding of your breath, easily irritated or deep irritation. So this is just an offering, really, at the end of the day, to help you gain a different perspective of change and allowing the version of you before to be initiated into this new version of stepping into the unknown of how is your menstruation going to show up for you, because how it's going to show up for you is going to be your story, that whatever pain that comes from that experience, you get to turn it into beauty. And then you get to help other people too who have been in your struggle, how to help them survive that struggle. So that's how we help each other too, by sharing story. So instead of letting go, because the letting go has, this version of you has kept you safe, offer release, because you are now initiating yourself into something that is new and is what you define. It's no longer what your parents defined it as. It's no longer what your grandparents defined it as. It's no longer what society defines it as. You take all those aspects that you've gone through, that you've healed through and are healing through, and then you merge them and say, from that, what do I take? From that, what do I take? From this, what do I take? And how do I recreate it in my own personal way? I hope that helped you. Please do like, share, and subscribe. The more people who need to hear this message, those who are struggling to let go of the old version that has kept them safe, can also just now find a new perspective of, oh, I'm being initiated, and the person who's being initiated needs new tools. I can't walk around without a pad if I'm bleeding, you know. So I hope that helps you whenever you think of the inner turmoil, and when you think that change is necessary, and you know change is necessary, but you feel that you're fighting it. And when you remember through that fight, that you just remember, I'm being initiated. It's time to release this version of myself. Sending you so much love. If you'd like one-on-one coaching, online, in person, I do offer that. The details are in the description below. Thank you very much for listening.